Hello everyone and welcome back to another Storytime video. And today I am going to talk about graduating college. 2 weeks ago I talked about my last day of college, but this time I'm going to talk about graduating college. Well, the trade school that I went to. And I've been talking about these the past couple weeks because May is a big day or month for people to graduate high school, college, whatever the case might be. Eighth grade, middle school, or well, eighth grade would be graduating middle school, but yeah. Um, so it's it's a big month for people to graduate. So I thought that it would be a very appropriate time for me to talk about today and then graduating this or today. So there, so every calendar year, because the trimester format uh, of the trade school that I went to, there's uh, no summer that we get. Like, there's no typical summer off that we get, Sorry, we get 2 weeks off, and then, you and because of that, there's at 3 points every year, every calendar year. So at the end of last month, so about a month ago, at the end of April, at the end of August, and then at the end of December, which is another popular time for people to graduate, especially if you graduate high school early, where people graduate. So there's 3 times of the year where people graduate and or people have their last day and then they're done with the school. But every year in early December, they have a big ceremony for everybody that graduated the past calendar year. So no matter if I would have graduated in April, in or had my last day in April, in August, or December, it would still be in December. Now, what's funny is that because if you graduate or if your last day is in December, you typically have your last day um, in mid-December when the graduation is actually in early December. So imagine telling somebody that and do all that, but then they've got to go to school for like the next week after that. Now, I was gonna say that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but if you so to closer to Christmas because Christmas. So you don't want it later in December because it could mess with people's travel plans and whatever. And you would want people to have to not have to choose between going somewhere potentially for Christmas or you know, attending their own graduation ceremony. But yeah, the ceremony was great. I was able to get a lot of my I was able to get pretty much all of my immediate family there to the ceremony, which was great, and uh, it was awesome. It was awesome wearing the cap and gown like I did when I graduated high school. We didn't get to keep the cap and gown, but on the flip side, we didn't have to pay for the cap and gown because we were just, borrowing um, the cap and gown. We got to keep the tassels, and I still have that tassel um, to this day. I think I know exactly where it is too. I'd have to check the spot, but I think I know exactly where it is. And uh, let's see. So I we had to wear specific colors. We had to wear either uh I think we had to wear either a blue or gray suit. I wore a gray suit with a blue tie, like a gray suit with a navy blue tie, which usually, of course, you would normally want that the other way around, but um and looking back in hindsight, I probably should have had it the other way around, but I I'm still very happy with my decision of wearing a gray uh, suit with a dark blue tie. I'm still very happy with that. Like I don't regret that. I don't in the slightest. I just don't think it was the best of decisions for me to wear a gray suit, but I don't care in hindsight really. I mean, it didn't impact things, and that's the color that they wanted us to wear. Uh, Blue or gray, I think. Uh, I would have to look again and remind myself. Look at old emails. Um, if I can even go back that far and find them. Um, but yeah. So yeah, the ceremony walking across the stage was awesome, and it was cool. Getting to that is always very cool. Being able to experience that with your classmates, and it's not like high school where everybody is together one final time, where where everybody is together. There's a lot of you that are going to be there together, whether it's your class or another class that studies this thing that you study, because you could take multiple things at this school. And so um, that was cool being able to see people that I knew in the other classes, as well as uh, being in the same room as all of them or most of them for the final time. Because when you're graduating high school, they tell you that you in the auditorium, well, in the gym, in my case, or outside on the field, uh, gonna walk across the stage and all that. That's the last time that all of you under that's the last time that all of you will be together at the same time. I was gonna say under the same roof, but that just sounds so cliche. Uh, so is bittersweet, and I I typically had this thought when I was graduating high school as well, but uh, it's just a new chapter in my life where I was able to start working in the field that I wanted to do, passionate about. Um, and of school, it was a new chapter in the sense that I had the opportunity to start school and kind of get the building blocks uh, for what I wanted to do, and uh, I was able to work full time and all that. Uh, so but at the same time, I really love school, and I typically miss school. Like, not so much anymore because I've been to college so much, but I used to really miss high school. Well, not really miss it, but I used to miss it at times. Um, and I think I really miss being in school in general. Because when I'm in school, or at least when I'm in college, those are the times in which I miss high school the least. Because I think I miss the uh, going to school and learning and having fun and just kind of messing around with friends or doing whatever. I think I miss that aspect of it. Um, of course, I don't miss the assignments, but and I don't necessarily miss the no responsibilities because I had some responsibilities in high school. Like I still worked when I was in high school, and I still had to cover some expenses. Well, a couple expenses, despite working minimum wage and part time and all that. Uh, but um, so I don't miss the not having responsibilities, uh, and being a kid, but it's bittersweet to me. Um, because you don't necessarily get to see your friends every day anymore. Like there's classmates that I had at the trade school that I actually haven't seen either since walking across the stage or um, since the last day of school that we all had. And it's, I just, and there's certain classmates that I wish that I could see every day again. Uh, and yeah, I still out with later on tonight. I'm actually gonna play D&D with some of my high school classmates. Uh, but it's just seeing them every day. Like I wish I could any of them, and so I don't get to see them every day. And uh, that's part of it. Part of what so that's the, I guess, downside, if you will. Um, but of course, the positives are that you're not in school, you don't have to deal with assignments, you can actually make some pretty good money now, and hopefully, if you're lucky, you don't really have a whole lot of college debt, if any. Uh, so, but yeah, I mean, I I just so graduating is just bittersweet to me. One of my classmates, or one of my friends that I graduated eighth grade with, he when we were graduating, he was like, this is like a regurgitation. This is not a graduation. This is a regurgitation. And what he meant by that is that, because I was like, well, what do you mean? He said that you're walking around like you're a big person at this school. Not necessarily me walking around like I got my chest out, but you're walking around feeling confident as an eighth grader around whatever middle school or whatever school you're, and then you graduate, and then you become a freshman in high school, and now you're not the more. Like, in case you haven't been to high school yet, freshmen have a reputation, and it's not good, no matter what. But we'll say, once you get that first year under your belt and you walk back into high school as a sophomore, it all pretty much goes away. That all pretty much goes away. So, uh, and then whenever you graduate high school, you you're uh, and then you graduate, and then you go to college, and you're a freshman there, or you start working after that, or you go to the military, whatever, and you're the new person at work. And while I don't mind new people at work, at my love keep people and not having it's anything about or and it's easier if you have a lot of experience and you can kind of walk around confidently. So um, going off on a tangent at this point. So um, I've pretty much got all my at least I think so. Um, but yeah, so I do believe that that will do it for this storytime video and Slank storytime video. I will see you later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.